Ladies and gentlemen, I am Jenna Anger, an 11-year-old member of the Bridgeville Mustangs 4-H Club. I have been in 4-H for 6 years, including Clover Buds. The projects that I am taking this year are horticulture, citizenship, foods and nutrition, archery, dog, and rabbits. Today, the title of my demonstration is Truly Terrific Terrariums. I have selected this topic because I love plants. This is a beautiful way to bring plants inside of your home. Also, being a busy girl, on the go, terrariums are no fuss and virtually take care of themselves. So they are perfect for me. For my demonstration, I will need the following supplies: a container, plants, pebbles, charcoal, potting soil and peat moss, gloves, and embellishments. Steps. Choose your container. There are all different kinds, shapes, and sizes of glass containers you can use, but make sure it has a lid. Today, I am using a cookie jar. It is really big, so I'm going to use 3 plants. But this one here that I have already made has 3 plants in it as well. This is a recycled pickle jar from the Kiwanis Chicken Barbecue. And it doesn't need to be expensive. You can get it from garden centers, thrift stores, and yard sales. Pick your plant. Make sure your plants are healthy, small in size, slow growing, need low light, and can tolerate high humidity. There's also, you have to look for the shape, color, and texture. These are perfect choices for terrariums. You need to stay away from cactus, succulents, most rock garden plants, and herbs. Now it's time to assemble. You're going to begin with a half to 1 inch of pebbles in the bottom of your container. This is for drainage reasons. Make sure it's level and you're set. Now you're going to use activated charcoal. This terrarium I'm using 1 tablespoon. In this one, which is smaller, I use 1 teaspoon. The charcoal is for filtering. So just sprinkle it all over. It filters the water and it stops the fungus from growing. Now, it's time to add your soil. Before I came, I mixed together soil and peat moss at a ratio 3:1. The peat moss is used to help the moisture, Before I came, I also dampened the soil so it can stick together. The soil should be the same depth as what the plant comes in. You can add hills or valleys to landscape. The soil and the pebbles should not take up more than 1/3 of the container. It's time to add your plants. You make sure that you have an odd number of plants in your terrarium. It's more appealing to the eye. And don't overcrowd. Separate the plants if they are too big, such as this. I'm separating it. Now, I think these plants are just so great together. You got fuzzy looking ones. And you need to have a ground cover too. And you're going to use the soil that the plant comes in. So don't shake the soil off of the roots. When you have a smaller container, like this one, it's harder to get the plants in there, especially if they're tall. You might need to just clip them down if they're too tall for that size. I like to do bigger terrariums so that you can get all of the plant in there. Make sure you have roots buried in your container. So there are no air pockets. And you want to also make room for air circulation. That's what keeps the plants alive. Lastly, embellishments. You can add embellishments for a fun look or a theme. You can use dollhouse furniture, fences, animal figurines, or shelves and rocks. Today, I'm using a miniature wheelbarrow. You can really put it wherever you want to. There's no certain place that you have to put your embellishments. If you don't want embellishments, you don't have to. I just think it makes it look a little more pizzazz. And it's done. And if you want, you can also embellish the lid, like I did with this one. I think that if you have a bright color in here for your embellishments, there's no reason why to put something on the lid. And in this one, I did a little froggy. Care. Water. Watering may not be necessary for months at a time. The moisture formed from the humidity will be sufficient. Light. Lighting for your terrarium should be indirect. Too much sun will cause your plants to die. The direct sun rays magnify the glass and will burn the plants. In the winter months, use an east-west facing window for your terrarium. Check for mold. Check for mold on the plants. If there becomes a mold issue, remove the moldy leaves and ventilate the terrarium for a short period of time. This will dry out some of the moisture in the container. Be sure to put the lid back on. Terrariums can live weeks to years without ventilation. Prune your plants. Prune the plants when they become too big for the container, or you may want to remove them and change them to a new container. Filtering or fertilizing. Fertilizing is never going to be necessary. The ecosystem takes care of itself. Resources. The resources that I have used in finding my information were the 4-H Horticulture Manual, Seed and Sprout, Level 1. And in the book, The New Terrarium. Also, I'm a member of the Money Mustang 4-H Club, or the Money Mustang 4-H group in our 4-H club, which is our horticulture project group. We had Miss Mary Noel, the Master Gardener, the University of Delaware Extension Office, come and teach us about terrariums. I learned a lot from her. Summary. To summarize my demonstration, I have showed the supplies that you will need to make your terrarium. The steps. Pick your container, choosing your plants, assembling your terrarium with pebbles, charcoal, soil, plants, and embellishments. Lastly, how to care for your terrarium. Water, light, check for mold, pruning, and fertilizing. Terrariums are no-fuss miniature gardens that bring a little bit of nature indoors that will add beauty to your home. I hope you have enjoyed my demonstration. Truly terrific terrarium. Are there any questions? Yes?
Is there a certain size that you cannot do?
Can you repeat that, please?
Is there a certain size of terrarium that you can't do?
You can do a terrarium and it can be life-size pretty much. It depends on your container with your plants, and you don't want to use ones that are so big, like succulents might be really big, cactus, herbs, all sorts of different kind of rock gardens that you don't want to use in your terrarium for that kind of